Hello everyone, my name is Rich Keener. I'm the Village Manager for the Village of Villa Park, and this is another segment where I'll be discussing an upcoming board meeting. So today, folks, the segment is going to be discussing the October 28th, 2019 board meeting. And just as a reminder, this board meeting will be held at the ICC, the Iowa Community Center, and one of the main topics on this agenda is going to be adult use recreational cannabis. So let's start with the formal agenda. So this is the October 28, 2019 formal agenda for the Village of Villa Park. It starts at 7 p.m. at the ICC, Iowa Community Center. So number one on the agenda is the call to order, the roll call. Number two is the Pledge of Allegiance. Number three is public comments on agenda items. And folks, that's the appropriate time for anyone in the audience to come to the podium, be recognized by our village president, and comment on agenda items that are formally on the agenda. So it's items that are formally on the agenda. Number four, moving on, is amendments to the agenda. And folks, that's the appropriate time for the president or board of trustees to modify or revise the formal agenda for that evening. Number five is the opportunity for public comment, and 5A is recreational cannabis. So folks, the background on this particular item is that there's a review of the provisions of the Illinois Cannabis Regulation and Tax Act and discussion relative to the regulation of recreational cannabis at the local level as allowed by the Act. So folks, what we're going to do is staff will have a PowerPoint discussing the legalization of the adult use cannabis, recreational cannabis, if you will. And then we'll have public comment, and then I'm sure the Board of Trustees will have comment as well. And you're probably aware most communities across the state of Illinois are holding public comment sessions just like this to talk about recreational cannabis. Medical's been around for a few years now, but obviously recreational use cannabis has not. And so we'll be discussing the recreational use cannabis thoroughly Monday night, October 28th at the Iowa Community Center. This proceedings start at 7 p.m. So moving on to number 6 for Monday night is the consent agenda. And 6A is the bill listing for the weeks of October 14th and 21st, 2019, in the total amount of $1,368,567.46. And I'll switch pages here. So we have 6B for Monday night is minutes from the village board meeting held on October 14th, 2019. So moving on to number 7 for Monday night is 7A is an ordinance of the Village of Villa Park, DuPage County, Illinois, granting a variation to allow the improvement of a driveway for a property without a garage at 710 South Princeton. And folks, the background for this item is that a petitioner is requesting a variation to improve a driveway on a property that has never had a garage. On October 10th, 2019, the Zoning and Planning Commission unanimously recommended approval of a variance that would allow for this improvement at 710 South Princeton. So folks, here in the Village of Villa Park, it's a requirement that single-family residences either have a attached garage or a detached garage. Well, this home was constructed in the 1940s without a garage, and so it's never had a garage, but it's had a driveway leading up to the garage where I'm sure they've parked their automobiles on this driveway so they're not parked on the street. So this home has been a non-conforming since then. And so for Monday night on 7A, the board will consider approving that variance so they can improve the driveway. Driveway already exists. It's in poor condition, just needs to be improved. And this variance will allow the homeowner to improve that driveway. So moving on to 7B for Monday night is an ordinance of the Village of Villa Park, DuPage County, Illinois, amending an approved plan unit development for property located at 102 through 298 West Roosevelt Road. And the background on this particular item is that a petitioner is requesting approval of an existing planned unit development to add 22,000 square feet of additional retail space for a Ross store. On October 10, 2019, the Zoning and Planning Commission unanimously recommended approval of this proposal with some conditions which are included within the proposed ordinance. So folks, this is the Villa Oak Shopping Center on Roosevelt, and they want to construct 22,000 square feet of additional retail space so a Ross store can locate there. Sounds like a very good addition to that plaza. That'd be very nice. So Monday night the board will consider this variance as well, or I should say a change to the planned unit development, also known as the PUD. So moving on to number 8 for Monday evening, October 28th, is 8A. It's a resolution of the Village of Villa Park, DuPage County, Illinois, approving an intergovernmental agreement between the Village of Villa Park, DuPage County, Illinois, and the Illinois Department of Healthcare and Family Services. So folks, the background on this item is the intergovernmental agreement between the village and the Illinois Department of Healthcare and Family Services will allow for a supplemental payment to be added to a Medicaid patient's bill. Quarterly, the managed care organization will send a check to the Village of Villa Park for a total of the supplemental payments. Upon receipt, the Illinois Department of Healthcare and Family Services will issue an invoice for 50% of the supplemental payment. Additional revenue from the Ground Emergency Medical Transportation Program is estimated to be at about $50,000 annually. So folks, what this is about is the village can enter into an intergovernmental agreement with the department with the state of Illinois, and through that we're allowed to add a supplemental piece, if you will, on a Medicaid patient's ambulance bill. And it's not for the patient to pay, but the federal government will reimburse the village more than what they're reimbursing the village right now. And then through the intergovernmental agreement, 50% of those proceeds will go back to the State Department, the Healthcare and Family Services Department. And so the village will keep 50% of those proceeds and then provide 50% of those proceeds back to the department, which we have the IGA with. So it'll help the village recoup more in a transportation, if you will, ambulance call. Right now we only receive X amount through Medicaid payments through the federal government, and this will allow us to recoup even more. And it's not going to be paid by the patient itself. And so folks, moving on for Monday night, number 9 is public comments on non-agenda items, and that's the appropriate section of the agenda to have anyone in the audience to come to the podium, be recognized by the village president, and comment on items that are not on the agenda for that night. Number 10 is the village clerk's report. Number 11 is the village trustees report. Number 12 would be the village president's report. Number 13 is my report, the village manager's report. Number 14 is executive session. And so we have 14A, which is pursuant to the general provisions of the Opens Meeting Act. We have A, 5 ILCS 120-2 C1, personnel matters. We have C2, collective bargaining matters. We have C5, purchase or lease of property. We have C6, sale or lease of property. We have C11, pending litigation. And we have C21, discussion of closed session minutes. Folks, we do not have any action items coming out of closed session. So number 15 would be adjournment. And then our next village board meeting would be on November 11th, 2019, back here at the Village Hall. So we have kind of a meaty agenda for Monday night. So I hope you have some time to tune in. This will be shown live streamed onto the village's YouTube channel. and then it'll be taped and rebroadcast on the other two channels, AT&T and Comcast. So hope you have some time to tune in or be in person to attend and kind of listen or comment, if you will, on the various items I've just explained. So again, my name is Rich Keener. It's my honor to be the village manager for the Village of Villa Park. Take care.